very exciting day as we get to announce an interim head coach for the Kentucky women's basketball program. And without further ado, I'll turn it over to our Director of Athletics, Mitch Barnhart, for an opening statement. Then we'll have an opening statement from interim head coach Kyra Elzy, and then we'll open the floor to questions. Mr. Barnhart.
Thank you, Evan. Appreciate it, and appreciate everybody getting together this morning. These press conferences are a little unusual this way, and not my favorite thing to do. Would rather be in person, and with all due respect to Kyra, for an opportunity for her to share the podium with her, that would be a wonderful day. But unfortunately, the world we're in, it doesn't avail us to do that. So we'll do it this way and keep going. I thank everybody for joining us. And first, let me start by recognizing Matthew Mitchell. I can't say enough of what he has done for Kentucky women's basketball and the University of Kentucky over the last 13 years. You look at what he has accomplished, 300 wins and plus, and then turned our program into a perennial power in the Southeastern Conference. We were someone that was reckoned with every time we took the floor, and created a home court environment at Memorial Coliseum that was difficult to play in. It included an SEC title in 2012. And then obviously in the NCAA tournament, we were there often, 17-9 record and 3 Elite 8 appearances. And more than that, I think it was what he did off the court that separated Matthew from a lot of folks. It was his high energy, great excitement, and the way he brought a level of just enthusiasm to our program. He was a great ambassador for the University of Kentucky, and he and Jenna totally ingrained themselves into our community, more than just women's basketball. They were great ambassadors. They did things within the community that were helpful to many, many people in many, many ways. I know it was an extremely difficult decision for Matthew and Jenna, and we obviously want them to be a part of our program. They have assured us they're going to stay in Lexington and be around our program, and we're thankful for that. We want them to be a part of our family for forever, and so we're looking forward to spending more time with them as we go. Having said that, we've got a season that is 12 days away from beginning, and so we've got to prepare for the start of the 2021 basketball season. And to do that, we've got to have someone leading our program, and it's a very familiar face. And we're excited that we didn't have to look very far to find someone that we felt like could begin that process, and that is Kyra Elzy. And so I'm excited to see her on the screen with me. I wish she was sitting next to me on a podium, but we'll do it this way. And but she's been alongside Matthew. In those terms, she's been alongside Matthew this entire time for a good chunk of the time, and been a part of that success that we've had at the University of Kentucky. And so she's been a proven teacher. She's been a leader. She's been a great recruiter for our program. Was an incredible player in her days, and so she's got the resume that allows us to have confidence in knowing that she can begin this process and get to know our program a little more at a different spot, and we get to know her from a different spot. And so looking forward to that. She's been a part of, in Matthew's absence, and when he's been working through his injury, she's been leading our program off the court, and done a wonderful job, and just sort of steadying the waters for our program as we go through these times of all the difficult uncertainties of what's been going on with COVID, and she has been wonderful in just guiding us through all those pieces. But I look forward to spending more time with Kyra here shortly, and we'll get to just philosophically align our thoughts, and we'll do all of that. But for right now, we've got to focus on getting started, and that's where we wanted to be. So we're going to let her have the floor here, and let her enjoy the opportunity as she takes the reins and begins the process of leading our program. So Kyra, with all congratulations, and looking forward to journeying with you. And Evan, I'll turn it to, I'm not sure how you do these on Zoom, so I don't know if I'm flipping it back to you or giving it to Kyra, but I'm gonna sort of Zoom it to her. So Kyra, feel free to take the lead.
Thank you, Mr. Barnhart. I really appreciate all of your kind words. Thank you to President Capilouto, the UK administration for the opportunity to be the interim head coach at Kentucky. I am truly humbled and honored. I am ready to take ownership that has been placed upon me. November 12th, it will be a day that I will never forget. It was bittersweet in so many ways. I always dreamed of taking over for Coach Mitchell as he rode off into the sunset. I never quite imagined it like this. That's the funny thing about life. It never goes quite like planned. To Coach Mitchell, my mentor, my friend, my brother, thank you. You gave 25 years of your life to the game of basketball. I have watched you literally pour yourself into Kentucky women's basketball. You have empowered so many women to greatness. This season is for you, Coach. We will always honor, celebrate, and be forever grateful to the winningest head coach in our program to date. You are Kentucky women's basketball. To Jenna, my sister wife, thank you for being you, for your love of this program and community. You, Saylor, and Presley will always be a part of our Wildcat family. The winning tools of our program are honesty, hard work, and discipline. Coach Mitchell and I are aligned in so many ways in our coaching philosophy. That's what made our coaching chemistry magical and very successful. He has already laid the blueprint for this program, in which I'm confident in, and I will follow suit. To our players, thank you for being resilient. You all have been through so much, and you still come ready to battle daily. You all have amazed me during this difficult time. I wouldn't want to be with any other team right now besides you all. As I take the reins of this program, I will make sure that our core values are rooted in family, accountability, servant leadership, and an all-in mentality. These values are all encompassing on how we will achieve success on and off the court. Family, Nia Butts and Amber Smith. I can't imagine taking over this program without these two by my side. These two ladies, along with Daniel Boyce, Coach Lynn Dunn, have all played a vital role in preparing this year's team during Coach Mitchell's absence. Nia, she and I have been battle tested for over 20 years together. Her passion for the game of basketball is undeniably contagious. She brings a wealth of knowledge, head coaching experience, and is a dynamic recruiter. Amber, my sidekick, my little mini-me, my protege. She's helped put this program on the national scene as a player. Her love for this program is second to none. She is a rising star that connects with our players and our recruits on a high level. Amy Tilley, our Dobo, Courtney Jones, our trainer, Tiffany Hayden, our women's basketball liaison, and all of our support staff, thank you. It's the people that make Kentucky amazing. I am ready to embrace this moment. I am a seasoned vet in the SEC, 12 years of coaching experience, 5 years of playing in arguably the best conference in the country. I am a two-time national champion, an SEC champion as a player and as a coach. I have recruited at the highest level at several institutions. There are so many people to thank for preparing me for this moment. The list is too long for me to even mention everyone by name, but you know who you are. To my mom, the strongest woman I know, thank you for making me the woman I am today. To my husband, Dexter, my #1 fan and supporter, I wouldn't be able to do this job without your love and support. To Jackson, my baby boy who loves being a Kentucky Wildcat. Now he loves the players, but I do have to report, he loves the dancing girls more. To Bonnie Hendrickson, Holly Warlick, and Mary Taylor Cowles for mentoring me and giving me the opportunity to coach collegiate basketball. To the influential women in our athletic department, Rachel Baker, Candace Chafin, Sandy Bell, Steph Tracy Simmons, thank you for your advice, your encouragement, and believing in women empowerment. To the Elzy family who love and support me unconditionally. To my hometown of LaGrange, Kentucky, who has poured life into me from the beginning. Last but not least, Coach Summit. Rest in peace, Coach. I hope I'm making you proud today. If I can be half the woman and half the coach you were, I would be doing something with myself. Thank you for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself, for instilling a mental toughness and a work ethic in me that has helped me succeed. Big Blue Nation, I will give you my all. Our staff will work relentlessly to recruit the best talent, to put a Wildcat team on the floor that will compete at a high level. Our players will graduate and give back to the community. This will be a program that you all will continue to remain proud of. Go Cats.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Mr. Barnhart. We'll open the floor to questions now. Please say your name, your outlet, and who you address the question to. Obviously, Mr. Barnhart and Coach Elzy are both here. So we will start with Fred Cowgill.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Kyra, first, congratulations. Frank Cowgill, WLKY Louisville. We've known you a day or two, all the way back to LaGrange. You have a street named after you in LaGrange. Just some thoughts about the foundation that was laid there, playing for Oldham County, and how far that's taken you here to this now.
You know, I have received an outpouring of love from my community and family in LaGrange, Kentucky. I do have a street named after me. I think they didn't have anything better to do with their time, but you know, it's an amazing community. You know, I'm so honored. I know they are proud, and to grow up in Kentucky and have the opportunity to coach at the state school, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity that I will not take lightly.
Next question goes to Charles Hallman.
Good morning, Coach. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. I know it's been a whirlwind time, but I'd like you to reflect upon the significance of being among the growing number of Black women coaches who have been hired this off season and who are being a part of this profession. And also, just if you want to expound on anything else that you talked about, especially about your kids graduating and reaching out to the community.
You know, the coaching community, it is a family community. This is a tough profession to be in. It's a lot of hours, it's a lot of sacrifice, but it's very rewarding. You know, I got into coaching originally. I want to inspire, impact, influence young women, and God has given me the platform to do so. There have been so many Black coaches to lead the way in order for me to have this opportunity. And one thing that my coach Coach Summon has always taught me, there are people before you to lay the foundation. Now you have the opportunity, and it is my responsibility to pay the blessings forward. So whatever I can do to help other coaches, to lift up young players that want to get in the profession, I am willing, I am able, and I look forward to blessing someone else like I have been blessed.
Daryl Bird.
Good morning, Kyra. Daryl Bird with the Cat's Paws. I wondered, have you had the moment yet to kind of look in the mirror and realize I'm not just taking over a team, I'm taking over a top 10 team with the potential player of the year, and wow, I got to get this right?
It has not totally hit me yet, but I do realize that I am taking over a top team in the country. And I'm just going to use it as positivity. Not every head coach gets to walk in to a team that has been successful. And I have been receiving a lot of text messages and phone calls from mentors and friends and colleagues that are giving me advice. And the best advice that I have received thus far: if all else fails, put the ball in Ron Howard's hands and let her do what she does best. So to be able to coach a player like Ryan and the talent that we have on this team, I do understand a lot is at stake, and I am ready for this moment. Been there as a player, now as a coach, and now we're about to put it in action.
Larry Vaught.
Yeah, Mitch, I wonder if you could kind of walk us back through how Matthew maybe gave you the decision, how that came about, and how the players and their families, I guess, maybe found out about it last night also.
Yeah, sure, Larry. Obviously Matthew is incredibly special to us, and Matthew's 100% guy. He is, if nothing else, he doesn't do anything halfway. It is a 100% deal. And he'd been sharing with me a little bit about the challenge of just getting back to 100% after his surgery, and I think it's been documented. And he just we'd talked a few times, and he just couldn't quite get to where he felt comfortable. And so he called. My days are this is Friday, so it would have been Wednesday. He called Wednesday and said, "Hey, can we talk for a few minutes?" And he said, "Sure." And he said, "I just feel like I'm not where I want to be, and I'm not 100%." And he sort of went back to that same phrase. He's an all-in kind of guy. Kyra used that terminology, all in, and he just felt like it was not where he wanted to be, or didn't feel like he could be in that mindset. So he said he was going to step away, and was pretty resolute in that. And we talked about a variety of thoughts, and he was resolute in saying, "I think it's time." And so I'm very respectful of that. We've got a friendship that runs a long time. He's 13 years as a head coach here, but he also spent some time as assistant. And so I've known Matthew for a long time, and wanted to be respectful of his thoughts and his wishes, and for him and Jenna. And so we talked for a while, and we talked again yesterday morning about just making sure that I said, "Let's sleep on it, and let's make sure that we're where we want to be." And then we talked about steps forward and what we needed to do, and walked through that with the team yesterday. And I let Matthew visit with them and explain his decision. And then I followed up and talked about the process of bringing Kyra on board and giving a chance to work through that process. And then I let them have their time as a team. So Kyra might be more, have the ability to talk about the players' reaction and their, not reaction, but how they were feeling. I didn't want to think that's a family moment that maybe I needed to let them have the family have that time together. So that's sort of how we played the last 48 hours. And I think is incredibly respectful and on all fronts. And I'm thankful for, again, the friendship that we've developed with the Mitchell family over last 18 years, whatever, 15, 18 years, whatever it is in total. And I don't intend on letting that stop. And Larry, he's a part of our family and always will be. And so I'm thankful for what Matthew has contributed to this community.
I'll let Coach Elzy address the conversation with the players as the second part of your question there, Larry, since she had the conversation with them.
You know, it was a really tough day emotionally for the players and staff. Coach has been our leader. He's been our coach. He is our friend. You know, they signed up to play for him, and they were emotional but happy that he was truly at peace with his decision. And they want the best for him. They want him to be happy. And between phone calls and texts throughout the night, they said, we are going to grind, Coach. We are going to put our head down and make this the best season. That is the best way we can pay honor and tribute to Coach. So it will be a transition, but we will be ready to take the floor on November 25th, and they are going to give their all for Coach and this program.
John Hale.
Hey, for Mitch, obviously it's been a very emotional week on a number of levels within the department, and a very difficult semester with everything that's going on, you know, COVID and everything else in the world. I'm just wondering what's kind of been the week like over there, and how are you all kind of weathering this storm right now?
You know, there's no mystery, and it's been a tough week. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. The Schlarman family is heavy on our hearts. That has been John Schlarman was a guy, and this is not the press conference that we were talking about John, but if you brought it up, and we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about John Schlarman and his impact at Kentucky. He is to our program what embodies toughness, competitiveness, and all of those pieces. And so it was a really hard 48 hours. And we lost a member of our family, and so that was tough. And then to have a conversation on the same window, losing another member of our family in a different way, and that's been a little bit tough for all of us. And but the blessing in that is we have someone like Kyra that we can turn to that loves this program dearly and embraces the values that we have and wants to represent Big Blue Nation and those things. But it's been tough. It's been there's just every day it seems like with just trying to get our teams ready to go and ready to play, and the challenges that COVID has presented for just getting to competitions. It's been hard. Our players, our student athletes have done an amazing job of being ready. They have been diligent in their preparation. They have been very helpful in terms of the protocols. We've asked them to, and discipline, just to give us a chance to play. And so we've made adjustments in how we do our work, and they've been really, really good. But all that being said, this has been a really tough week, John. It has been really hard. And so to see Kyra smile and to see her be able to share this moment with her that brings a little sunshine to the week, and we're glad about that. But not gonna lie, it's been a lot, and our staff has been incredible, from operations to facilities to everything that's gone on. People have really stepped up and done amazing work, and just trying to give us a chance. It's been, but it's been a tough week.
Gary Grades.
Good morning, Kyra. I guess to follow up on what you said earlier about the easy part of giving the ball to Ryan, but having coached having worked under Matthew for so long and worked at Tennessee and Kansas, how much of an influence of all of those places is going to play into your coaching philosophy? I mean, or do you have any other kind of little wrinkles that you might try to install yourself?
Yes, they all contribute to how I will coach. The thing that I said about Coach Mitchell and I being aligned in our coaching philosophy, you know, we were all under Coach Summit's tutelage. So that is our foundation. I am a defensive minded. You know, I want to be tough defensively, disrupt. Obviously, we are going to continue to play up tempo, recruit players that are versatile, in which our team is extremely versatile now. So there's endless possibilities of what you can do offensively. I will say Coach Dunn in the last 3 seasons has turned me over to the dark side because she said we had too many defensive coaches on the floor. So she would always scream, offense, offense, offense. So she has turned me over to the dark side, which I am grateful for now that I'm going to sit in this seat of being extremely offensive minded, intentional, knowing what you want to run for your personnel. So this year we have installed a lot of the things that we have run at Kentucky in the past. It fits our personnel. I will probably add some more quick hitters head into the season, simply because our versatility this year in depth makes us different. So I want to make sure, unlike last year, we have a post presence inside. So we want to play inside out with Kiki and Todd. Dre makes us different with the addition of Olivia Owens. We have people that can score inside. So we really relied on the outside shot last year, perimeter heavy. This year, we truly can play inside out, which changes the dynamic of our offense.
Josh Sullivan.
Congratulations, Coach. And this one does for Mitch. Do you envision this as a potential long-term replacement? And how do you approach that? And also, you mentioned that Coach Mitchell, you hope, will still be involved with the program. Do you know in what way that will take place?
Yeah, Josh, on the last part of the question, I think just we want Matthew around. I mean, there's no official capacity, and if that's where they're going at this point. At this point, we just want him to be just to know that he's always a part of our family, and that he's got a really special place in our hearts. And he and Jenna and the girls are always a part of that. So no, and then in terms of the first part of your question, absolutely, we wouldn't be taking these steps if we didn't think that this would be a long-term solution or a long-term thought. But much like any interview process, usually an interview process, you have an opportunity to spend some time going through a couple different conversations, just talking philosophy and making sure that you're aligned. And I haven't had, because of how fast this occurred, I didn't get the chance to spend time with Kyra on that. And I think that's an important step, and just making sure that we're aligned philosophically and cultural, the way we're trying to do our culture and our program, and just making sure that we're thoughtful in that. And that, I think that's part of my due diligence and the things that I'm responsible for as the athletic director, and she understands that. And I think that's the step we all have to take. And so she's ready to go on that. I don't think there's one moment. She sat in my office probably a year ago, I'm guessing, and she talked about what it would take to be a head coach and wanted to know what I look for. And I think she knew the answers before she asked the question, because she's really, really smart. And so she prepared. She's got a game plan. I just like to see what the game plan looks like. You know, like any coach, she doesn't walk in and out a game plan. As the athletic director, I'd like to know what the game plan is. And so we'll do that, and we'll spend some time, and there's no timeline on that. So I'm not going to say it's December 1st, December 15th, end of the season. I'm not going to do that. But you guys know me well enough to know that we'll be thoughtful and thorough and spend some time. But I told her this morning on the phone that we'll be intentional about getting together. But right now, her focus is November 25th. We're less than, 12 days away, 2 weeks away from tipping this thing off, and with a really good team who she has worked diligently hard with in the last 6 months, and she's ready. And so we're ready to enjoy the fruits of her labor and how hard she's prepared. And we're anxious to watch our team compete.
Thank you.
We got time for a few more. I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. We'll start with Maggie Davis.
Hi, Coach. It's Maggie Davis, LEX 18. Obviously, you are very familiar with this team just from being on the staff for so long and then taking over pretty much the reins over the summer. How much does that help your transition into this role now?
I think that was big. First and foremost, relationships with the players, no matter what seat you sit in. So I've always had great relationship with our players as well as everyone on our staff. But I thought that was big just for the trust factor, familiarity with them and them with me and this staff. But overall, Coach has always empowered everyone on our staff the opportunity to get on the floor and coach and really give our opinion. So I don't think it was that big of a shock to the system, to the players, for me to take over or for Coach Butts or Coach Amber to coach them, because that's what Coach has always empowered us to do. And in the long term, I think that has paid off for us in this under this circumstance.
Thank you.
Daryl Bird.
When I first heard about this last night, my initial thought was, why not just take a year leave of absence, especially in a COVID season that could be wiped out at any moment? Was that ever a conversation with Matthew?
I believe that was for you, Mr. Barnhart.
Okay, yeah, I'll be glad to take that. No, we talked about different options, Daryl, different things that may be on Matthew's mind, and he was pretty resolute. It was time to step away, and I hope that I'll always be respectful of what people have on their hearts. Matthew's very thoughtful. There's not anything that he doesn't do with a lot of thought and in prayer, and I mean, he is a thoughtful man and he's a prayerful man, and he said he spent time in both those ways just to walk through that with Jenna, and they had come to this decision, and he was resolute in it, and so I respect that. That's why I still sleep on it one night, but also we couldn't wait in terms of where we were. We needed to have some direction for our program too. We needed to be able to move forward, and he called, today's Friday, Thursday morning, and said, I'm solid in where my thoughts are, and I need to move on.
Okay. And for Kyra, once you're into the games, coaching, in the heat of the moment, kind of, what the voice in your head, what would you think Coach Summit would be saying to you at that point?
I think Coach Summit would say, remain poised, remain confident, but prepare. Prepare for those moments, those situations. Not only have yourself prepared, but have your team prepared, so we know what we're doing and we're confident in it. Preparation. That's what Coach Summit would tell me.
Dick Gabriel.
Coach, congratulations. To follow up on Maggie's question about relationships with the players, you know as well as anybody, you've been in basketball your entire adult life, that the relationship with an assistant coach can be quite different than that of the head coach, good cop, bad cop, whatever. Could you talk a little bit about how that's going to change for you? Will it be a dramatic change? I mean, you're only moving over one seat, but it's a big move.
Well, I don't quite know yet. I have always heard that it is a dramatic change. This year might be a little bit different just because they have always known me as their assistant coach, and we have great relationships. I kind of joked with them yesterday. I told them that I would make some mistakes along the way, but I would figure it out and navigate through this time. And now I will be the person that won't make all the popular decisions, and they won't always like them. But I know, confident that they know that my heart's intention is in the right place to make a decision for the whole of the program. But I think having open communication with them, honest communication, flowing both ways, I think that will be vital to this transition.
Final 3 questions here. We'll start with John Wong.
Hey, Kyra, congratulations and welcome. You've got big shoes to fill. So my first question is, how well can you dance? And secondly, I heard in your opening statement, you talk about servant leadership. We hear that from Mr. Barnhart all the time. We've heard it from Coach Mitchell a lot. What exactly does that mean to you?
One, no, I cannot dance. That is not in my realm of expertise. I will leave that to Coach Amber Smith. If she would like to take over dancing at Big Blue Madness, I'm all for it. I'll pass the baton to her for sure. And then what was the second part of your question?
Servant leadership. Could you explain what that means in your mind?
Well, servant leadership for me is our players are top priority, and everybody has to be willing to give above and beyond themselves. So I talk to the staff, our support staff, pour yourself into the players, whether it's mentoring, whether it's talking, whether it's giving them a shoulder to cry on, whether it's a hug, whether it's encouragement. Actually just pour yourself into someone else and in something bigger than yourself. That's what servant leadership means to me.
Larry Vaught.
Yeah, Kyra, I think it's now been almost 25 years since you left Oldham County and decided, okay, Kentucky's not right for me. I'm going to go to Tennessee. Now you're back in. Now you're back as the head coach at Kentucky. How much of a priority does in-state recruiting become for you, and how different is this program from the one you said no to 25 years ago?
Okay, we're not going to bring up the past, but I did say yes to Coach Summit, and to my defense, it's hard to say no to Coach Summit, an icon. However, this program is in a totally different place than it was when I was coming out of high school, and it was great. But for me personally, it was close to home, not far enough, but I wanted to play for Coach Summit. Now, in-state kids are huge to the success of our program. We have Aaron Toller, Emma King, Blair Green, who all will play impact roles for us. And then it is important for us to keep homegrown Kentucky girls at home at the state school.
Our final question goes to Maggie Davis.
Coach, I was going to ask you about your Big Blue Madness plans, but I think John covered that. So I guess I instead will ask if you have a favorite walk-up song idea. I mean, Coach Mitchell always came out to my town. Do you have a song that you always thought would be maybe your walk-up song?
I have not. Honestly, I have not gotten that far, but I'm sure the staff and or the players will help me find something that they designate as cool. So I know they will hook me up. I'm confident.
I'm sure that is priority number 1. Thank you so much, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, for being here today. I know it was a short turnaround from the release last night, but we appreciate everyone being here, including Coach Elzy and Mr. Barnhart, who obviously have busy days ahead to move the program forward. So we want to thank everyone for being here today. We will send out a transcript and the video. And if you need anything, everyone has my cell and my email, and you can reach out and we'll try to help you out as much as we can. So thank you.
Thank you.